What is going on, everyone, and welcome to a Dose of Magic Live, the live show where we're talking about all things Walt Disney World. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Brett.
and we are back for another week. We have a great discussion for you today, and I know many of you are here because you want to see who the giveaway winner was for our giveaway this week. We did a Thanksgiving back giveaway where we gave away we're giving away some great items. So stick around because we're going to pick the winner live on the wheel. So thank you all for entering for that. But before that,
Yes.
Brett, what is going on? How are you?
I am doing great. We did a 4-day weekend. So obviously seeing family for Thanksgiving was great. And we had a 4-day weekend, so no work. And we did a lot of house projects. So the house is finally feeling up and up. We are feeling good after accomplishing some projects.
Good. Yes. And it's that fall time. So as you can tell in the A Dose of Magic studio here, we do have the fall overlay. We got some leaves on the ground, and there is a hidden Mickey in the picture if you haven't seen it already. So that is going well. I'm doing well on this side too. I've been having a lot of fun on social media doing all of the different TikToks and content and giveaways. So thank you all again for entering. It's been a lot of fun on this end. And Thanksgiving was great. It was a lot of fun to see family and hang out. And we're really ready to ramp it up into the holidays. Did you do any Cyber Monday shopping, Brett?
I did majority Black Friday shopping. So mostly we are pretty much done Christmas already. We have everything either already or arriving. Yeah, we've been planning Christmas since probably the beginning of November.
That is
And
amazing, honestly.
yeah, so we have very few gifts to purchase yet. So we are pretty much done.
That's exciting. That's a good feeling this early in the
It
game. That's
is.
awesome.
It
Thank you to
is.
the Black
So
Friday and Cyber Monday deals.
right. And thanks to the Black Friday deal starting 3 weeks ago. Because we were able to get a lot of shopping done pretty early on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, as we always do here as well, we always throw an audience question out there for everyone to chime in. So the question of today is going to be, what is your favorite park? Let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat, and we'll see which park ends up being supreme. And while we do that, just wanted to remind everyone that if you could go onto Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as you're hearing this as well, and giving us a quick review. It means a lot to us. We see it often. We check for it every few days, and it just means a lot. So if you do, we will try to reach out as well and say thank you. So we really appreciate that.
Yes, exactly. It's free to do, both reviews and following us on social media, and it helps us out a bunch. So we appreciate it.
Awesome. We got some answers coming in. What's up, Ryan? Welcome back. This is Hollywood Studios is Ryan's favorite. We have another one coming in here. Epcot. That is a definite favorite of mine as I get older. It tends to get better with age, and that is something that I appreciate. And best of both worlds here, we have Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So there you go. Gregory, welcome to the show. Thanks so much. Now,
Yes.
we do have a fun thing coming up here. Again, we do have that Thanksgiving giveaway happening. So hang out with us and stick around. We're going to definitely show off and pick that winner there. But before that, we actually have a new game that we wanted to introduce. Brett, do you want to tell them a little bit about what this game is?
Yeah. So this game is called Between the Lines. And basically what we've done is Ryan has gone through probably Google Images, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he has selected different cues or lines throughout the Walt Disney World property, and he's removed parts of it or has taken away features that would give away what ride it's for. My goal is going to be to try and guess what ride that cue is for and take a guess. So this came about because actually when Ryan was down in Walt Disney World about last week, 2 weeks ago, he posted a picture in the line for Ratatouille for Remy's adventure.
Yes.
And Autumn was over my shoulder and she was like, "Oh wow, like that's kind of sucks. Like he has a long wait." And I was like, "Yeah, especially for Ratatouille." And she was like, "How could you tell that was Ratatouille's queue?" And I was like, "Pretty odd. Like I don't know. Like once you stand in these queues long enough, you start to understand them and start to know them." So
Yeah.
that's where it came about, because then she was like, "You should totally do that on the podcast as a game, guessing different cues."
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we got here.
Yeah, he mentioned it. I love it, and you're right. When you're in line for 65 minutes, you really start to memorize those cues and what they look like. So this is going to be a test because the first guess the attraction game was very popular. Many of you liked that and like chiming in and trying to guess as well on social media. So we're going to do the same thing where I take out some comments or take out some elements of the picture and still see if you can tell what that is. So we're going to go into it. This is going to be the Adosa Magics between the lines game. So here's how it's going to work. I am going to flip through. Brett, here is your first one. What do you think?
Okay. So first things first, it's weird. So it kind of depends on like the cues. Like this is one where you've already waited in a queue, right? And then they're like, okay, just step forward and fill in all available space. These usually mean that they are rides that have open seating.
Right.
Like no truly assigned seat, sit where you can, sit what's available. So that to me, that this is going to be the Monsters Inc. laugh floor. This is once you get through the metal detectors and the gates and whatever, the door, you fill it in. You have creatively removed all the screens that are hanging above that are usually playing Mike Wazowski. So, final guess, Monsters Inc. laugh floor.
That is a good guess. And I am laughing reading these comments because Ryan said, are we playing this game with or without the guest poop in the lines? Right. That is hilarious. I should have dropped some Easter eggs in there and like hidden a little poop emoji somewhere. That would have been very
That's
funny.
funny.
Well, a couple guesses coming in as well. Vinny is guessing Soren. It's a very good guess. Very similar colors on the walls. Ryan is saying laugh floor. And we have another one from Taylor saying laugh floor. So let's see if Brett and everyone else is right. It
The
is. So
laugh
there
floor.
you can see the TV monitors that I've taken out. I've adjusted the walls a little bit, taken off the doors and all of the artwork on top of the doors before you enter. But again, when you're standing in line for so long, you tend to just have like memory of this location in this area. So that's a very good
Yeah.
guess for many of you. Let's do another one. Here you go, number
Do
2.
it.
What are your
All
thoughts
right.
here?
So this one is this one's unique because there's only very few queues where you can see back outside into the park. And as you can see in this picture, you can see on the left side, but that is actually overlooking the Millennium Falcon, which puts us at Smuggler's Run in Galaxy's Edge.
Wow, that
So
is a good guess. Very good guess. Another guess coming in for Smuggler's Run. Greg is also saying Smuggler's Run. I thought I was able to kind of hide a little bit about this as well, but you guys are all right. This one is as well Smuggler's Run. Some of the pictures as we go, you'll see I've taken more out than others. This one, I tried to take out the wiring. I tried to definitely take out the Falcon itself, but it kind of just smudges. So
yeah.
I took out the orange. So it's tricky. It's tricky, but again, good memory and good point about the glass. Not all of them allow you to see back out. And so that was a very, very, very good point and a very veteran move. Let's move on to number 3.
How many
Let's
of these
move
do
on.
we have?
We have 5.
Okay, cool.
Yep, 5. So not too long. Here we go. Number 3. What do you think this one is?
Interesting. So this one is tougher. You've definitely removed a lot more from this one. But that
What
is
gave it
going to
away?
be
The
the haunted.
gray smudge?
Yeah, yeah. You asked what this is. It's poor editing. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's Haunted Mansion. And there's a few giveaways for that one. One, they very much resemble like gravestones in all their line formation. So staring at a pretty big mausoleum. If you look behind that guy in the back there, that fencing overlooking the water is pretty
Mhm.
distinctive. And they can only put you in like 1 or 2 places.
Yep.
So that is going to be the Haunted Mansion. But if I'm going to be a little more specific, I'm going to try and get myself here.
Okay.
So there's two places I think this is at, but I think I'm gonna go with the one. That's the really big mausoleum. Once you've gotten through, you like go start in the queue that's under the passage, and then you go kind of into like the backyard, I guess you would say, of the mansion. And
Sure.
that's where this picture is taken at. So that's the big mausoleum in the backyard portion of the haunted mansion.
All right, we have a ton of guesses coming in, and all of them are saying haunted mansion. My editing, it must have not been very good. Vinny, haunted mansion, bad ride, weird to see it in daylight. Well, saying that it's a bad ride is an awful take, by the way. That is just
Yeah, that's
terrible.
poor.
That is an absolute classic ride. It's nearly beloved by many. I can't believe it. So that is a good guess. Guys, you are all correct. This is the Haunted Mansion, and really what I took away was this entire organ part of it that is
Yeah.
playing. Very hard to take away and to edit away. I also took off the green awning, I took away the lamppost, and I just tried my best to make it look as not Haunted Mansion as possible.
Yeah.
But there are
You
so
did
many
good.
elements to it. So many elements that really, again, is an attest to Disney's theming and the ride and itself. So it's hard to take away just one thing and not give it away.
No,
Let's
you did
go
great
move
there.
on to the next one. Another outdoor one. What do you think here?
So this one is really interesting. I do know it,
Quickly.
but yeah, pretty quickly. There was a few that I was teetering between. Ultimately, what we're staring at is an empty podium of where something should be, and what should be there is a shrine, because we are at Expedition Everest,
Okay.
and I only know this one because people often like throw coins at it or like money. It's like that weird thing that people do. And they always look at this statue. So Everest.
It's another one that has a very, very long wait most of the time. And so, yes, you tend to get very familiar with this area and this statue. And that is what it looked like. I took away all of the cloth hanging on the clotheslines. I took away some of the lights. This is the statue, almost like a Buddha Nepal temple type of thing,
Yeah.
as well as the money and all on the ground. So very, very good guess. I'm not stumping you guys at all. Everybody said the same thing. Expedition Everest, Expedition Everest, Expedition Everest. Very good guesses. I need to do some better choices next time because you guys are getting it pretty much 100%.
Give me like the carpet of an attraction and be like, guess the carpet.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll zoom in and try to just really test your knowledge there. Let's see this
Yeah.
one here. What do you think? Last one, number 5.
So this one, kind of tough.
Okay.
It's a weird one. It's also a new attraction though. And only being on it a few times, I have been able to memorize the cue for it. That's gonna be Guardians, is what we're staring at here. Um,
I love it. I love how you're
so,
talking through it.
but this is Guardians after the wall has risen up. And yeah, that's Guardians. There's really no other way to put it, no way to analyze it. Really what gave it away is that you could see the circular wall above.
Good
So
point. You are correct. Many people are also guessing Guardians, best ride. Absolutely, Vinny. Best ride, Guardians. But you are correct. This is Guardians. I took
a
away what I
lot.
thought was a lot. There's a lot in it, but it still has that sci-fi feel, and many of you know it by heart already, even being one of the newest rides in the park, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. That is awesome.
That is. You took a lot away from that one.
I know, right? Even like, well, this is another one that ends up being just like a black smudge because you try to take away too much, and the AI is like, dude, I don't know what you want. You take away half the picture, and he's like, I can't give you anything. Here's a black smudge. And that's kind of how it happens. So thank you guys for playing that game with us. We have a ton of fun doing it. I have a ton of fun making it, and I know Brett has a ton of fun absolutely guessing. We have a quick question here from Chris. Was the photo taken just after Terry Crews demands that you don't take photos? I think it was. Somebody must have snuck it. because there are plenty of pictures from my available picking online. So that is funny. Many people don't really always listen, but what are you going to do?
Hey,
So
totally fine.
moving on, I do have a quick discussion topic that I want to talk to, and then we are getting to the Thanksgiving giveaway winner. But this is a discussion topic that I saw actually on Reddit. So, Walt Disney World Reddit is a very, very popular thread where many people go and prompt questions and people ask. And it's actually a very good spot to go and talk and see and hear from other cast members, ex cast members, and hear some secrets. Now, you got to be able to tell and say, you know, take it with a grain of salt because anybody could be
Right.
lying on it, right? But nonetheless, some people mention that parenting at Disney, that they've seen parents being very abusive, not treating their children right in lines, and really not being able to parent, I guess, how others feel like they should. And so the question is, why are people more stressed at Disney than ever before? And some of the answers, Brett, were very, very interesting. Something that I didn't think about before.
Okay.
But what if you had to guess, what are some of the reasons now that Disney is more stressful than it's ever been?
Well, I feel like for a parent, right? I think your kids want to go younger and younger because they're also growing up in these times where like Disney Plus and iPads and all these are like in their face. So they automatically know um basically these
That's a
people, and
good point.
they ask to go a lot sooner than I think many families are ready to take their kids to go to, right? So people are taking their kids at younger ages than they probably should be.
That's a good point.
Um I mean, I think money is a huge factor in it. Like almost value resorts are becoming moderate at like sometimes not valuable at all.
Yeah.
Um, and a turkey leg is $22. Like, being you were just down there, I was just in Disneyland. Like, just to eat a quick lunch, it's $44 for two people. Like, it's expensive, right? And there's no hiding that truth.
Yeah.
So that, and then I mean, you're also in a park of 50,000 people trying to parent, trying to keep your kid in eyesight, trying to make sure you get on everything you want. Like there are tons and tons and tons of variables um, that make it almost not enjoyable for a family sometimes.
Yeah, because when you lay it out on paper, there's a ton. So long lines, you have to take out a loan to afford it. Sodas cost $6 a vending. I think you missed the zero on that. They're about 60 actually now. Um, Ryan, the debate that you started in my living room watch party, that is hilarious. Sorry to
That's
start the
funny.
debate, but it is an honest question and something that I saw as well that I was like, oh, I'm curious. So I wanted to see what people are saying. And Brett, you guys all pretty much said a lot of it. But something that I didn't consider was the fact that now with Genie Plus, it's actually more chaotic than ever when you're in the park, right? So because when
It's
it
true.
used to be very chaotic picking fast passes ahead of time, but that was months in advance, right? And so you were able to kind of go through, pick your rides, and once you got to the park, you already know that you are getting on at least 3 rides that you chose, that you like, that you know, and then you can just kind of go do it. It's set, boom. Now you need to be on your app all the time. You need to either be up at 7 to get that lightning lane. You got to make sure that you can get all the other ones. Once the one is done, you kind of rolls over to the next, and it just gets chaotic. So that alone, adding that extra stress the
Yeah.
day of is absolutely painful, right? On top of that, you're trying to watch 2, 3, 4 kids if you're a large family, right?
Yeah.
That is stressful. On top of that, it's 105 degrees. That is stressful. On top of that, you have 50,000 other people walking around next to you trying to do the same thing, all looking down at their phones, trying to round up their kids, trying to get out of the heat, trying to find water. That is stressful. And then on top of that, you paid an absolute mortgage to get there, and the
True.
sodas cost $60. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but the point is you're trying to milk out every penny because you already overpaid to get there. Your kid is falling asleep at 7 o'clock in line, but you're like, oh, we paid, we have to get there, right? We have to stay here, we have to enjoy it. And it's like, yeah, but your kid is literally asleep in your arms. He's not even enjoying the experience. He's not going to remember this. You're just stressing yourself out. And wow, I just went on a nice rant there, but it was just,
You did.
it was very eye-opening when somebody made the point of, this is a stressful time because of the money, because of the crowds, because of the planning that needs to happen, not ahead of time now, but the day of, and you never know what you're going to get in terms of rides and things like that. You're kind of always just at the mercy of who's quicker, who's better, like who's faster, who's got better
Yeah,
service. And that is stressful. So, wow, I need a breath. I just went off.
that is. Now, I have two follow-up things to that. One, I feel like you nailed it with lightning lanes, because I feel like once you did your 3 fast passes before and like your 4th one like unlocked after, I
Yeah.
feel like that was very much like, we have it. Like, what do we want to get on? Like, there's a lightning lane available for Rocket,
Yeah.
or lightning lane available for, like, you've already done those, waiting for your time frames for the other one. So that's more like, what do we want to go on? Where lightning lanes, like, we haven't done these yet. Like, we have to get them. So I don't know. That's it's a really good take. Um,
Yep.
and then my second question to you is, do you think that only applies to Magic Kingdom?
No.
Like, do you think people are as stressed in a park like Animal Kingdom, where there's less attractions, less hype, less things to see? Like, I feel like Epcot's not as stressful. People are there to just walk the countries, right? And grab
Yeah.
drinks and get on Guardians if you can. Like, I feel like that's not like any park aside from, I would consider Magic.
Yeah.
That's like very go, go, go. Like, we're here for a day, right? We
Sure.
brought the family of 4. Let's go. Like, we have to go on everything. And I think that's where the stress comes. Rather than something like, I would also consider Hollywood Studios
Yeah,
to
I was
be a
gonna
pretty
say, I
stressful
think
park.
Hollywood is stressful.
Hollywood has
Big
gotten
time.
up there. They have added enough, I would say, to be a stressful park. But I would
Yep.
say like 2 out of the 4 are extremely stressful.
Yeah. We have a
That's my take.
couple. I do agree with you, and you bring up a good point about which park has less, so it's less stressful. Um, Disney takes a lot of prep now, Heather. That is very true. Definitely don't want to say that it
So
takes no
true.
prep now. Ton of prep ahead of time, but people who don't put in the work before and know how things work, they're stressed. That is a great point as well. Trying to go into it blind and not have anything prepped is making your stress tenfold. You'll literally go to the park with brunette hair and leave with gray hair if you do that. That is crazy. We have a Heather and she makes everything stress free. Everybody in the group, everybody in a group should have a Heather planning it. That is awesome. If you start with Mickey Waffles, Rye, nothing can ruin your day. That is so, so true. Chris is saying, I think the queues have gotten longer. I don't remember queues ever being as long as the likes of Flight of Passage, and long queues seem to stress people out. This is a good point, too. The lines and the capacity of the parks just feel so much more than they ever really have been. Uh, I'm not saying that they are. I don't know the math. I don't know what the true stats are. So I'm not saying that as a fact. I'm just saying by perception, as somebody who was recently
Yeah.
there, I can agree it is very, very tight, very, very crowded as well. Let's see what Lori is saying. People would be less stressed if they researched before they go. I do agree with you. You have to plan. This is not Six Flags. You can't just walk in and have a good time. Then you plan for the money, which is always stressful. And we always know that we always overspend anyway. And you know what to expect with Genie Plus. It can be stressful, but the stress can be managed. And you know which rides are a must do and which are negotiable. It's very true. This process definitely makes you really prioritize your time and make sure that you know what you
Yeah.
want beforehand, because you know that, like, okay, I'm going to have a couple minutes where I'm going to get a chance to, select a ride for us in the morning. Which ones do you want? Which ones are a must? And if not, we'll just do standby and kind of wait it out and try to memorize what the queues look like.
Yeah. Having a negotiable ride, sorry, before we go there, is like a very, I don't know, I don't want to call it like a taboo topic, but like to have rides be like, if we don't get it, like it's okay. That's like a huge thing going into a Disney trip, because you're
Mhm.
not, we've said it before, like you're never going to be able to do everything Disney offers,
Never.
right? So you have to have these like negotiables versus non-negotiables going into a trip, so then you're not dissatisfied, right? I think families go in thinking we're going to pay and we're going to ride every ride that Magic Kingdom has.
Yep.
It's not going to happen,
Yeah.
right?
Not enough
Like
time in the
one's going to
day.
be down. One's going to be down. You're going to have long queues. And mine train's never under 2 hours for some reason. Like there's a bunch of things that
Peter
like
Pan.
Peter Pan never under 3 hours. Why? Like there are things that, and It's a Small World still open. Why? There's a bunch of things that are just like happening that
Yeah.
are just like gonna happen, and you're never gonna be able to get it all. And Aladdin Magic Carpet's still in the park for some reason. So yeah,
Yeah.
bye.
Swiss Family Tree. Why? It's a great point. And honestly, it's something that you just need to plan ahead of time, because if you don't, and you hear it's funny, like my coworkers and people, friends of friends that you overhear talking about Disney, they're always like, oh, I went to Disney, and or I'm going to Disney soon, I can't wait to get on Tron. And it's like, oh, okay, are you familiar with the lightning lane process, or are you familiar? And like, what do you mean? And it's like, they just like automatically assume, oh, I've heard that Guardians is the best coaster at Epcot, I can't wait to go. We're going for a day when we're visiting down for like a business trip or something. And it's like, okay, awesome. But do you have the planning ahead of time? Like, do you understand what it takes?
Yeah.
You can't just walk in and just walk on to Guardians. So it's one of those things where if you don't do the research, it's going to stress you out, to many points from the audience. So that's a great point. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly, but I think it's time. I think it's absolutely
Let's
time.
do it.
We go and we jump into our Thanksgiving give back giveaway, where we spent the week we put a post out. Everybody was tagging this week, and you were able to tag somebody and get the chance to win this adjustable hat, a wine glass set, and this cutting board. You're winning all three in this. So thank you guys again for tagging and sharing with friends and family. So this is what you're able to get. Brett has them right there in his hands. So we are not
They will
lying.
ship out tomorrow, or as soon as we get your information.
Yeah, exactly. So I will DM the person who ends up winning. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now, and we can get this set up so we can see who wins. So the way I did it was I truly, as we said, every tag is also going to be an entry. So can you guys see my screen? You probably can. Looks good. So the way I have it here is that every tag was an entry. So I put your name for as many times as you tagged. And I will give a quick shout out to Exploring the Galaxy. He blew us up and tagged a bunch. It was awesome. Also, Michaela Renee looks like a bunch. So everybody has a chance here. What we're going to do is shuffle this so that it's all equally meshed in, right? So you guys can all see that. We're going full screen. Ignore the NFL random team title at the top. I tried to customize this wheel. I have no clue how it got up there. I did not type it, and I couldn't find a way to get rid of it. So nonetheless, the winner of our giveaway, drum roll.
I can't see. It's font 2.
It's going to come up. And it looks like it's Cindy. I will DM you, Cindy, and we will be able to send that over to you via mail. Brett will get that in the mail for you. And congratulations. Thank you guys so much for doing that and entering. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of entries, as you guys could see. And Cindy, that is all for you. So congratulations.
Thank you all. If you tag somebody, thank you for giving us a little bit of exposure. Like we said, any shares, any comments, any reviews, any follows, all mean the world to us. So we appreciate it. But overall, Ryan, anything else?
I don't have anything else. That was all we had on the agenda. We had a lot of fun doing that. I will come back with a better game. We have a couple more games also in the books and ready to go. So this is going to be a very, very fun segment. So if you enjoyed it today, please tell a friend, please tell some family. Come on back. We do this every other Monday night. And if you miss it, no big deal. You can listen to it this week or the week of on Wednesday as an audio recording, or you can watch it back if you do enjoy the visual of it on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we really, really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.